Okay, meeting come to order. All the members of the License and Health Committee are present. So we have one item first from Ariana McCarthy, but she's not here the way it looks.
I don't believe she is here. And one quick point of clarification, Mr. Chair, if I could. A few of these matters have not been referred to council yet, and so I would say items 1 and 4 can be acted on now. 2, 3, and 5 would just be discussion items. Kind of
Yeah.
streamline the process for the recess meeting later.
2, 3, and 5, right?
2, 3, and 5, I believe,
Okay.
right, can't be voted on. So, speaking to number 1 then, Ariana McCarthy, was she sent a letter to appear?
Yes.
Okay, so she was sent a letter to appear. She does have, I think it was held in November because she had a pending OWI that has been resolved as of early December, and she was convicted of an OWI second offense.
So has she been taking classes, right? Or she has any updates on that? or-
I don't have any updates on that. It is a requirement for all OWIs that you have to take an AODA assessment.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Owen Rose.
this is the woman that we saw at our last meeting, and she was
Yes.
going to get us paperwork, correct? As to her completion of the class? You don't
Maybe,
recall?
I don't think I was there.
Okay.
So what is the determination of our committee to holding it at this point, or?
This is, what number time is this that she was supposed to be here?
Well, she was supposed to be here tonight,
She
right?
was here the last time. You
Yeah,
might-
she was
The one that
here.
was gonna bring us that
Yeah.
paperwork
Right.
information?
So you might want to hold it till,
Okay.
Yeah, we can hold it. I mean, that's the
I
wishes of
recommend
the...
we hold it.
We hold it?
Right.
Make a motion to hold.
Second.
All in favor of the motion to hold it?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The aye have it. So then we move on to item 2, which is 2021-1481, new Class A B license application for BNS Mart LLC DBA BNS Mart 7920 West National Avenue, West Dallas, Wisconsin 53219. Agent TLAC KC. He's here? No, he's not here. So I understand he applied for the Class A license, right?
Class A beer only,
Right.
correct. This is a new license, so the committee would have pretty broad discretion on whether to grant or deny it. Again, this is not, we can't vote on it right now. There was a discussion going back and forth that the property had gone through a request to transfer the license that did not go through. There is no current license at that location at this point in time.
I just,
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Copy of it.
For a point of,
Yes.
clarification, this particular individual is the owner of State Fair Liquor on 81st, am I correct?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I believe,
think so, yes,
if my
yes.
memory serves me, he's looking to potentially move his business over there. And I know he wanted to do liquor and beer, and he came up with this plan that he was going to build onto. He was working with Steve Scher. I think at the time when we heard that, we were not in consensus of approval there. So I'd like more information, if anything, going forward, to have clarity as to what actually is transpiring, because what I recall also is that if he was going to transfer that, or it is approved, that he was going to surrender his other. And I believe that's the backstory that I
So-
recall,
so
but
the-
it's been several
The
months,
new
so.
location would be 779 West National.
Correct, which is the gas station.
Gas station, okay.
So that's what he wants to do. He wants to bring beer over to the gas station, and I don't know what he's planning on doing with his liquor store, but I think Steve Scher has been working with him for at least a year to try to find an appropriate location for him to move his business to.
So what's the wishes of the committee, to holding it, or?
Well, we're not voting on this,
We're not voting
correct?
on- No, you
I
can't
can't
vote
vote
on
at this point.
Is not
Okay,
here.
so it just gets held over, correct?
Well, it'll be addressed, I believe, at the recess meeting, but
Okay.
there can be discussions at this point about what you intend to do, sure.
Okay, I think there's just too many variables that I'm not, in support of at this point.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes.
there's one more thing to bring up about this one, is on the application, there is the time for the sale was to begin at 6:00 a.m. Statutorily, that's okay, but the statutes allow the city to amend that time to be more strict. And so our earliest time to sell beer from a Class A is 8:00 a.m. to 9:00 p.m. So that would be
9 p.m., right?
Correct. So that'd be another thing to make sure is addressed.
All right.
And, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
And if I may add on that opening time, I would say, I don't have any facts here in front of me, but 90% of the liquor outlets start at 9 AM in the morning. All of the liquor stores, retail outfits start at 9.
so that's our wishes. I mean, if you want to,
Well, that's just a discussion item.
I think, well, it's a discussion, but we can move forward with that, once come the time, so, so at this point, we kind of holding it, or, right, until,
Well, we'll hear it at recess, correct?
at recess, yes,
Okay.
yeah, until recess.
I have no more to discuss.
Okay, great. So then we move forward with item 3, ordinance to authorize an insurance provisional retail alcohol license to certain applicants and restrict applicants who have been recently denied it. So I understand, I believe it's not a bad idea, after 6 months, if it's somebody come forward, we cannot really deny them after the fact.
Correct. I believe this item, Mr. Chair, was discussed that we were going to move forward because a lot of applicants have to go through all the procedural process to open, and they need to sign off on that. But in the interim of that, the license, if I'm correct, is not approved until kind of that final stage. And this is going to help these businesses to open. They still have to, if I'm correct, they have to come before license for approval. So this just gives it opportunity for a business entrepreneur that's coming through to go through the 5 phases of getting everything checked off and then still coming
Still
back to
coming back,
license
sure,
for
that's fine.
the final word.
So any further discussions from the
Sure.
committee? Mr. Alderman Rhodes?
This is once they've been denied, correct? They can't come back
two
for another
parts.
6
Two
months?
parts to it.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I can answer that. So there's 2
Okay.
parts to the ordinance that are being changed. The first part is for this provisional license to be issued. And so once the License and Health Committee approves a license, it can be held for an indiscriminate amount of time at the Common Council level. And so there's this interim period between when they could get approved and here, and when they would be finally approved through Common Council, because it still needs the Common Council approval. What that first part of the amendment would do is allow the clerk's office to issue a provisional license when the License and Health Committee has already approved a license. So for example, if there is an entity that was approved in License and Health, but they have to get their occupancy, and the next meeting for this entity to get that done isn't until January. If they get it accomplished within a day or 2 and provide that information to meet all those requirements to the clerk's office could issue that provisional license so they can operate until that actually gets formally approved by council. That's the first amendment. The second amendment then would be to curtail kind of these duplicate applications from coming through. And so if an applicant is denied for whatever reason, they can't reapply within 6 months of the denial.
Okay.
Yes.
And I wonder if we could change that 6 months to 1 year to tie it into, like our special use, if there's a, let's just say a tattoo parlor and it goes out of business. And after 1 year and 1 day, they have to someone has to reapply. It can't be a tattoo parlor again. Check cashing, anything. Could we make it a year?
I understand what you're saying. So you're talking about if
Tie it into
there's-
that grandfather clause.
If there's you're talking about if like a special use permit, if it's not used for a year, then.
Correct.
Okay. And
Can't we
so
tie that
how would
in?
how would that coincide? I guess is my question.
Let's make it uniform, a year.
Okay. It's up to the committee, whatever language.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Christian.
Alderman Rowe, what would be the purpose of that? I mean,
I
the 6
just
month.
think consistency.
Okay. I believe it was discussed that the 6-month window made most sense. Rebecca, do you have anything to weigh in on that, how that would work with the clerk's office?
The only thing I would say was that would be if you moved it to 1 year, that would require everyone to get a special use.
Okay.
I mean, if that's the intent of,
Yeah, and that kind of goes against what our, well, at least that, as I understood it, to make it more efficient.
And Mr. Chair, one more
Mr.
point.
Chair.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nick, don't we have something in place already for licenses?
You may be thinking of if a license is revoked, that they can't reapply for a period of time. This is a denial. And so say somebody comes in front of the committee to apply for operational, Class A, Class B, whatever it may be, and the committee denies them.
Right.
It's to kind of, I believe, save some repetitive work for the clerk's office.
And for the neighbors that might have to continue coming in if the person
Sure.
keeps applying.
Now, Mr. Chair, go
Is there,
ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Good.
And how many months or year, or is there a year for that one as well?
For the revocation, it is a year, and so that's trying not to have this place that we've just revoked, just reapply right away. There needs to be a penalty in place.
Exactly.
That's more of a, and I don't want to, I hesitate to say the word penalty, but that's when there's been a bad act that took place that we revoked that license. This is different. This is when somebody just applies for it, they can't reapply shortly thereafter. And then, Mr. Chair, I want to have one more point of
Yes.
just, so I talked with Attorney Decker on this one too, and I brought up a concern about if we go that 6 months and somebody was denied, say, for an operational license based on their conviction record, we have that chapter 111.335 in the state code that talks about necessitating or allowing or requiring the committee to give them a chance to prove rehabilitation. And so I just brought it up saying that I worry. And so Cale pointed out that he thinks, and is his opinion, that the ordinance as proposed is fine, but that section, that 111.335 has been untested basically in litigation. And so there may be an option to amend the language for that second part only to allow applicants who have competent evidence of rehabilitation to reapply, but only living at that single condition. But it's up to the committee if that's language that you're concerned about. Again, Cale's perspective is this is untested waters, and the safest route may be to add this language, but he thinks that we're probably in good shape either way.
The fact would be that we could be in some way in litigation with somebody applicant, right? If we deny them, right?
That's what I brought up.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't trying to muddy the waters by any means, or I think the ordinance, again, either way could work. My proposal, or a proposal could be, hold on one second. The way it reads right now is qualifications, in addition to the qualifications under chapter 125.045 of the Wisconsin statutes, no license related to alcohol beverages may be issued to any person who has had any license denied within the prior 6 months. And then the potential addition that hopefully wouldn't eat that whole rule is, comma, unless the applicant has competent evidence of rehabilitation pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 111.335 for convictions that were considered by the committee previously. So it only would be related to those convictions considered previously for those applicants that would hit it. I don't want to make a rule that, or an exception that swallows the rule that would be meaningless and invalidate the potential gains for the city or the neighbors, but that's just something to consider.
Any further questions from the committee members?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I just want to reiterate, we discussed this prior
Yes.
to,
Yes.
we did have discussion on bringing this forward. And at that time, all due respect to Alderman Roth, we didn't mention the 1 year. I think we were all in consensus that it was the 6 month. I'm happy with the recommendation of our city attorneys that the 6 month would make most sense, and also for the clerk's office. So I don't see any reason to amend it. I don't want to step on your toes, Alderman Roth. I would make a
No, it's
motion to
explained
approve.
perfectly by Rebecca.
Okay, all right.
We'd have to renew or go through
Okay,
that whole
so
process.
you're
and
fine
thank
with
you
it
for
if
that.
I make a motion to approve as is?
So on the
We can
motion,
Vote on these. We have to wait.
Oh, we have to wait. I'm sorry.
Was this, I didn't see it on the, okay, so this one, yes, it has to wait.
Okay, thank you.
so we don't vote on
Nope.
You'll vote on it in like hopefully an hour.
an hour.
We're holding you to that.
Oh,
We're just talking about what we're
We're
voting
just
on
talking
tonight.
about, all right.
Fun stuff.
So at this time, we move forward with item 4, sign finding and the recommendations, Sampson and complaints in the matter of complaints against the GSC Pub and Grub, 8028 West National Avenue. Agent Jeffrey Clark. Mr. Clark, can you come forward?
All the way up there, right here.
All the way here.
Well, that's, yeah, I think that'd be better. We're not really going to discuss anything tonight.
You can have a seat,
You
Mr.
can have a seat. But the only questions that I have on the questions of the, either you admitted or denied it, or,
And Mr. Chair, if I
yeah,
if I
yes,
could
go
briefly,
ahead,
so
go ahead.
I did have a discussion with Mr. Clark prior to this point and explained kind of generally what the process is for today's hearing, and basically, as you said, there's either the option to admit or deny. Admitting
Yes.
means we would go to a new date and potentially sentence. Deny means you would preserve that ability to challenge it, and we would schedule a date for that hearing. I can tell you that I've had a meaningful conversation with Mr. Clark, and so I guess I'll leave it open to Mr. Clark at this point. I have two questions. One is, you received the summons and complaint in this matter, and you were served that document?
Yes.
Okay. And then, have you made a decision on admitting or denying the allegations in the complaint?
I would deny.
Okay. And so, again, there's no discussion at this point. What will happen then is we'll work with the clerk's office and schedule a date for that hearing, and you and I will have discussions going forward about where we go from here, okay?
Okay.
All right. Any other questions from the committee on that matter, unrelated to the content of the summons and complaint?
No.
Any questions from the committee?
No?
Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next one is item 5, November 2021, Police Department tyrants violations, call for service report. Any questions? I believe everything are in place. If any concern, anybody has?
No.
So we move a motion to place on file?
No. Motion placed on file.
Not yet, but we'll be able to do so in an hour.
We didn't learn from the first 4.
And that's a recommendation from the clerk's office, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll discuss that at recess. We'll make that
Oh, I thought it
motion.
was just 2,
All
3,
right.
and 4, you said, but
That's, yeah,
All
that's
right.
what I thought too.
So is that all we have for business, Mr. Chair?
I need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of the adjournment?
Aye.
Hey, you notice this?
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Whoa.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to call the Common Council meeting to order. I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Reinke.
Here, I'm sorry.
Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
Tenorio.
Excused, expected.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Gresham. Here. Haas.
Here.
Keen. Here. Lysick.
Here.
9 present, 1 excused.
Okay, we have a quorum. Please rise if you are able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderperson Reinke. Okay, moving on to item D, we have 2 public hearings this evening, and I will ask the clerk to read out public hearing number 1.
Resolution to confirm and adopt the report of the city engineer containing the schedule of proposed assessments for improvement of South 65th Street from West Greenfield Avenue to West National Avenue and South 66th Street from 100 feet south of West National Avenue to West Mitchell Street by concrete reconstruction with miscellaneous sidewalk repair, miscellaneous driveway repair, storm sewer relay, sanitary sewer relay, water main relay, building services, and utility adjustments.
Thank you. Mr. Daniels?
Thank you, Mayor Devine. All right, this is the hearing for 65th and 66th Streets. Here are the limits for 65th Street from Greenfield to National Avenue. And then 66th Street, halfway down the block from National all the way to Mitchell. Portion to the north was already done in 2008. Here's some pictures of what 65th Street looks like. This pavement was originally put in 1925, resurfaced in 1975, so the concrete from 1925 is still underneath there, and it's 96 years old at this point. Here's a picture of 66th Street from 1949, an aerial photo showing the concrete from 1926, which at that point was just a few years old. I think what's interesting to me here is that these streets were really built not just for cars, but like this picture here was taken in 1919, so there were still, the majority of vehicles were horse-drawn when these streets were built. I'm just emphasizing how old these streets are. Here's some pictures of 66th Street. This is what we call alligator cracking. It looks like an alligator. There's far too many cracks here to seal. The road is completely gone. You can't maintain a road that is this far gone. This project was kind of adopted by MMSD and the EPA as part of their Greening America's Communities. So we're going to experiment with putting in some permeable pavement and bioswales, which MMSD is willing to pay for, which will then help us meet our goals with the DNR. So there will be some permeable pavement in the parking lanes that looks like this, and then there will be some bioswales that look like this at certain places. There'll be one right at Lapham, there'll be some by the parking lot south of Lapham. The purpose of these is to let the rainwater infiltrate to the ground, like in this diagram to the right. So we'll have a couple of these on 65th and on 66th Streets. On top of that, we're going to be replacing all of the sewer underground. The water main is from 1913 to 1928, so it's up to 108 years old. That'll be replaced. We're going to put in new copper water services up to the sidewalk. So the public portion of the service to the house will be replaced. The lead will be replaced. I don't want to promise at this point that we're going to replace it all the way to the house because we have not gotten the grant that we would need to do that. But that is a definite possibility. We're putting in more storm sewer. A lot of these bioswales actually have underdrain that we need some more storm sewer. We're replacing most of the sanitary sewer from 1909 to 1938, so that's up to 112 years old. The streetlight, the decorative streetlight poles that were put in about 2010 are staying. So those will stay in place. We're not replacing those. These are what some of the sewers look like. They're badly cracked. They're in danger of collapsing. So all of the underground infrastructure that's old will be replaced. Here are the costs for the project. The pavement's $500,000. The green infrastructure, $246,000, but like I said, MMSD is willing to help pay for that. The sanitary sewer, $272,000, storm sewer, $148,000, water main, $433,000. Streetlights are staying. Here is how the project is being funded. There's a whole bunch of different funding sources. The water main is being paid for with the water utility, which is a citywide fee. The storm sewer is paid for the stormwater fund, which is a citywide fee. The sanitary sewer is a citywide fee. That's paid for out of the sanitary utility. Special assessments are about 9%. That's $159,000 of the $1.6 million. Like I said, we're getting some grants from MMSD and the EPA for this Greening America's Communities. And then the general fund, the property taxes, pays for about 25%. So here's a sample special assessment for a typical 45-foot lot. The rate is $64.39 for everybody, anywhere in the country, anywhere in the city, I'm sorry. The cost is $2,897. If you have a driveway, that would be an additional cost. The bills for this would not be mailed out until March of 2023, not 2022, but 2023, because we'll build it in 2022 and then we will bill it in 2023. So if you choose the 10 or 5-year plan, your first actual installment would not be until December 2023, which is 2 years from now. So don't have to worry about any payments for 2 years. When you get the bill in March 2023, you'd have options. You could pay all lump sum, you could pay a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. We do charge 4% interest to recoup our costs because we are borrowing the money and we have to pay interest to the municipal bondholders that we're borrowing the money from. The city is merely passing along those interest charges to anyone that chooses the plan. The city's not making a profit off that interest. So like I said, if you choose the 10-year plan for the $2,800, it comes to $406 for the whole year. That's $34 a month. And then the 10th year, it would be $301 for the whole year, or about $25 per month. So why do we special assess? We have been doing this for over 110 years, and in the past, residents actually even paid up to 100% of the cost, unlike this project where they're paying 9%. The assessment rate is $64.39 for any residential property anywhere in the city, no matter how wide the street is or how high the traffic volumes are or how high the actual bid prices are. Everyone is treated the same. Everyone's treated equally. And this has been around for 110 years in Wisconsin state law. And there have been hundreds of court cases as well that have upheld this as a fair and reasonable method for recouping the city's costs. So it has certainly stood the test of time. Special assessments are the only way that we can ensure that tax-exempt schools, churches, charities, hospitals, county parks, utilities, and railroads pay their fair share. No one is exempt from special assessments, even though there are 430 properties in the city, which are shown here, that don't pay any property taxes. And many of these tax-exempt properties are very large, as you can tell. They actually make up about 28% of the whole city that does not pay property tax. So, but they do pay special assessments. And furthermore, businesses, corporations, manufacturers do pay a higher rate. They pay $80 to $96 per foot. So large apartments like the Future Mandel Group or the Six Points Apartments will be paying for their fair share at the higher rate, the commercial rate, $80 per foot. So everyone is paying. And if you look at this map, this is all the colored locations are properties that have paid assessments in the past about 15 years. So it's really every property, at least on the east end of town, has paid. And if you go back far enough, every property in West Dallas has paid a special assessment at some point. So everyone's paying their fair share. Just wanted to let you know, if you need a disabled parking spot, we could set one up on one of the side streets like Mitchell or National or Lapham. Just contact us, let us know. There will be times when you will not be able to get into your driveway when they're pouring concrete like in these pictures. We obviously can't let you drive into your driveway, so you will have to park on the side streets for a time. This is kind of the schedule. This project, like I said, has kind of been adopted by MMSD and the EPA, so it's been part of their Greening America's Communities program. So because of that, we've had way more meetings with the public than we've ever had on a meeting, on a project. We had a walking tour with stakeholders, that's a picture here. In September, we sent out a mass mailing to 1,300 residents in the neighborhood in October. We had a stakeholder feedback session on October 27th. That's a picture of this here. We had a neighborhood meeting at Horace Mann on October 28th, and tonight is the public hearing. So the plan going forward is that we'd start advertising on January 21st, bid opening on February 9th. Work could begin as soon as March 14th. If the snow has melted. We're getting as early a start as possible because we know that the farmer's market will open on May 1st. The road will not be open for the farmer's market, but there's usually not a lot of customers in May and June, so the plan is to get the road done before the lion's share of the farmer's market season, so we hope to get it done in July. If not, the contractor would have assessed liquidated damages for not getting it done. So we're optimistic that it's just a lot of work that we couldn't possibly get it all done by May 1st. So there will be an overlap. Meanwhile, Mandel Group is working on the Sona lofts. They are on a similar schedule. But I think later phases of the project will go beyond the end when the road is reopened. So some of these future phases are going to be after the road is open next year. And if you need more information, you can always sign up for our weekly emails that get sent out. If you go to our website, look for Construction in Progress. We send this out at least every week, sometimes even more frequently. You can get the summary of the project, status, road closures, schedules, who to contact. So that's all on a weekly email that we send out. So that's it for this. If there's any questions, we'll hear them now.
Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Daniels. Are there questions from the members of the council? Okay. Seeing none from the council, are there any questions or comments from the members of the audience? Okay. Seeing none, we will close public hearing number 1, and I will ask the clerk to read public hearing number 2.
Special use permit for Magic Auto Repairs, a proposed automobile repair shop to be located at 1230 South 60th Street.
Mr. Scher, when you're ready.
Thank you, Mayor. The next hearing is for a proposed auto repair shop at 1230 South 60th Street. It will be named Magic Auto Repair. And Domingo Herrera is the proprietor. He will be purchasing the site from what was Blair Painting, and it's been used as a shop for historically a number of, actually a couple decades, going back well into the back into the 90s. So the building is about 2,400 square feet. It's on a 10,000 square foot lot. It's Zone C3 Community Commercial District, which does permit vehicle repair uses. The repair shop is just going to be doing some general auto repair, tire changes, rotations, oil changes, just the basic auto repair types of tasks on site. And they will have a small office area as well as the repair bays within the building. They tend to, they will plan on serving 2 to 3 vehicles at any one given time during their business hours. And their business hours are generally Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m., 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then Saturday by appointment, again, within those, that 8 to 5 p.m. range. These are some exterior photos of the building. This is a view from 60th Street on the bottom here. There is a small retaining wall and then a little bit of a landscaped area on top of that retaining wall. And then a view from the corner of 60th and Madison on the top. You can see the building has been, I guess, somewhat freshly repainted. There is I guess, grass terrace and then some additional landscaping along Madison Street. The entire yard area, the outdoor yard area, is surrounded by a fence, which is about 8 feet tall. So the parts of the fence, actually the entire perimeter of the fence will be replaced in kind in the spring. And it will again surround the entire property. It will also feature a gated area. The Planning Commission wanted to have gates on the Madison Street entrance, so that will be installed. And then you can see the view below of the existing situation, and then the site plan on the right. The building does hug the street edge at the corner of 60th and Madison, and then the landscape areas as shown. Those of the existing landscape areas will be maintained and just trimmed up and cleaned up in the spring. The vehicle layout will accommodate a total of 15 vehicles on the site. 3 of them will be for customers and/or employees, but then the additional spaces are for staging vehicles on site. Within the special use resolution that's before you this evening, no vehicle repair will be taking place within public right-of-way. And then we're also indicating in the resolution that the overhead doors will be closed during business operations to limit sound emissions to the neighborhood. So the Plan Commission has recommended approval. We have received no objections to date. Some of the conditions of approval from the Plan Commission meeting are listed here, A through E. Just to give you a little sense of what the Plan Commission was looking at. In terms of the fencing, just getting fencing details about the replacement fencing that's going to be going up in the springtime. Just indicate the height and the type. It will not exceed 8 feet in height, but otherwise would be wood and/or with some chain link and slatting for some of the gates. The gates will be kept closed during non-business hours, and then the location of the refuse area will either be within the building, or if it is outside, it will be on the northwest corner of the site, again within that fenced area, so it would not be visible from street frontages or from surrounding properties. The building overhead doors, there is one on the back side of the building which will be used for access to the repair bay. Those again will be kept closed during business operations. And then if any new lighting is proposed for the property, the Plan Commission wanted to ensure that a lighting plan is submitted for review. So that concludes my portion of this public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Scher. Are there any questions from the members of the council on public hearing number 2? Okay, seeing none, are there any questions or comments from the members of the public on public hearing number 2? Seeing none, we will close our second public hearing, and we will move on to item E, citizen participation. This is the opportunity for the council to receive information from members of the public during this 30-minute period. Each speaker must announce their name and address, and we ask that you limit your comments to no longer than 5 minutes. Please sign in at the podium up here, up front. And the council cannot take action on the topics raised by the speakers, nor will they go into discussions on the topics raised by the speakers. Just our opportunity to listen. Is there anybody that wishes to address the council under citizen participation this evening? Microphone up here.
Hello, my name is Deborah Morin. My address is 2345 South 75th Street, and I'm here to talk about elections. So I notice on the agenda tonight you're going to be appointing election inspectors, and I wanted to commend your deputy clerk for cleaning up the election inspector list from previous years. It just kept going over and over and growing to like 6 pages long if you would look at it, and it's been cleaned up, and it looks like it's very current and something that we can use. So I'm very happy about that. I also notice that you have a claim that's a notice of a claim to be filed regarding your central count procedures, and specifically putting an identifying number on someone's ballot is a process that's outlined in state statute for absentee ballots that are processed at a central count location. We did not have a central count location in West Dallas until right before the 2020 November election. It had to be passed by you. It was passed unanimously, but we don't have to have a central count. We can process our absentee ballots like we've done in the past at our polling places. So I think that might be something for us to consider, is to rescind the central count. I'd like to know what the benefits of the central count are. Do we save money? Does it cost more? What's the, the cost-benefit analysis on having a central count as opposed to processing absentee ballots in the polling place? Which leads me to 2 more election items, and one is the reduction of polling places. The polling places have been reduced because of COVID, and I've been working on not getting election inspectors nominated for working this next 2-year term of office. And I'm a little concerned that there's some talk that we will not be going back to the way it was. We will not be going back to the number of polling places we had before COVID. It's very efficient to keep them at 5 polling places for the whole city and herd us through those 5 polling places. Now, I called both my aldermen back in November of 2020 because I voted here for that presidential election, and we were so lucky that we had nice weather. But I was around the side, circled the city hall around the sidewalk, and I called them and I said, if you want to see what voter suppression looks like, come down to City Hall right now, because you can see what's happening down here when we consolidated the polling places. So I know that the clerk, when I spoke with the clerk and other clerks around the state, it is more efficient to have fewer polling places, and that's from an election administrative perspective. It's easier, it's more efficient for the clerks. I get that. There's fewer poll workers you have to hire, fewer election equipment you have to rent. But what about the voters? What do the voters want? And I can tell you, the voters that I talk with, we want our polling places back. We want to vote in person on Election Day. We want to put our ballot into the machine. We want a number of polling places where we're not standing and waiting in line forever and a day in order to vote. And so that's something that, and here's the kicker. You're the decision maker on the number of polling places. According to the state statutes, in 5.25, the number of polling places is determined by the municipal governing body, which is you. So you get to determine how many polling places we have, just like you determined that we wanted a central count. So now you get to determine if we're going to keep the polling places reduced to 5, or if we're going to expand it again and try to get more Election Day polling places. And as a voter, that's what I'm asking you to do. The other thing is this whole thing about central count. If we're going to be expending money, I would prefer to have our money expended on the constitutional right to vote. And according to the state statutes in 6.84, the legislature finds that voting is a constitutional right, the vigorous exercise of which should be strongly encouraged. In contrast, voting by absentee ballot is a privilege exercised wholly outside the traditional safeguards of the polling place. And they go on to say that it needs to be, for that reason, you need to be very careful with absentee voting. So if we're going to spend money, let's spend it on the constitutional right to vote and not on the privilege of voting absentee. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Does anybody else wish to address the council under citizen participation this evening?
I didn't sign it in yet. Okay, that was quick. Hello? Oh, y'all can hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I come tonight to...
I'm sorry, Matt, I know who you are, but can you give us your name and address for our record, please?
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay.
I'm a little nervous.
No, that's okay. We're harmless.
Yeah, I always get nervous, and I don't know. Matthew Peets, do I need to spell it?
Nope.
Okay.
Just an address.
2457 South 63rd Street.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm bringing up an issue that's out of season, fireworks. Now I got that out of the way. I don't know if I should use puns, but I lived in Wisconsin, of course, Wisconsin. I lived in West Allis, where we have, me and my wife, for about 4 years, and we have 2 dogs. They don't like the banging. And there's other dogs in our neighborhood. I also found out that there is a handicapped lady up the block from me that has a big bear of a dog that don't like fireworks. One of my neighbors set off one of those apparently quote-unquote illegal fireworks in the alley. I called West Allis, took them a half hour to get there. I feel very sorry for the police department around the 4th of July. A month before it comes, they set off fireworks. I know we're next to Milwaukee. They do the same thing. And it just, I feel sorry for the dispatcher. They must be getting a bunch of calls about illegal fireworks. Now, I'm hoping to get this on the agenda for January, and Alderman Vitale has endorsed a statement that I brought yesterday, but this needs to be dealt with, because even now when I hear something bang, I don't know if it's a firework or a regular thing. And I know, I'm getting a feeling that I've called the companies, the fireworks companies, and I don't know if they are trying to get around the state law or if they don't understand, or I don't know. I'm still going to be talking to them in January, because I kind of laid off because it's Christmas. But the police department needs help. They need help from us citizens to be able to find these people, and whatever the police department says we should do for evidence to hold them accountable. And on the other side, that we, council, should set up something that can strike a balance, that if they want to do it, because obviously they want to do it, give them a place to do it. You know, some of them, I assume, don't want to go through the process, or even if they know the process, of getting a permit. But let's use the city parks or the county thing. I'm working with the county for this. So, I mean, I don't know if y'all realize how much power you have just being a municipal body, but you have the power to be on the forefront to show the rest of the municipalities that you're taking this seriously and that you're working to get things changed so that everybody is comfortable with the celebration of 4th of July. I love 4th of July. I like seeing the fireworks, but I don't like seeing them in my backyard and having my house shook. It's like, oh great, you know, and my dogs start barking. So I like to see something get done. I'm willing to work. I'm going to be joining an association to work with trying to get these neighborhoods together so we can keep an eye on the people who do this. So I'd like to get stuff done, get it fixed.
Great. Thanks for your comments. Is there anybody else that wishes to address the council under citizen participation this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will close citizen participation. We'll move on to item F. Our standing committees will be meeting during recess. Those room numbers are listed on the top of your agendas on page 2. Moving on to item G, the mayor's report. I just want to once again publicly thank all of the departments that worked so hard to put on the Christmas parade, especially under the circumstances with the tragedy in Waukesha that we were supposed to, that we responded to and solidified our route with extra safety and security issues. If any of you were at the parade, you noticed a very heavy police presence and very many vehicles along Greenfield Avenue blocking the access routes. And I'm happy to say that the parade went off with very few incidents, very, very minor incidents. And same with the Chris Kindle Market. I just want to thank all the city staff involved in the pre-work And in the post-work, I want to thank the Youth Commission for collecting donations for the victims in Waukesha, and just thank all the staff for what they've done, not only for the parade, but also just for the course of the year as we come to the end of 2021. That's all I have for the mayor's report this evening, is just a huge thank you. So I will conclude with that and move to item H. Are there any reports from the alderpersons?
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move for approval of the minutes of November 16th, 2021.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Were there any changes to the minutes? If none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, the minutes are approved. We will go to the License and Health Committee. They had an item. Is that
Item
going to be
4.
after recess?
Well, yeah, I can read it. Yeah, we did talk about it a couple of weeks ago, and but I understand the applicant has got all the things in place in regard to the applications, so the inspections are fulfilled, so I feel we should move forward of the approval, you know.
I think there was some news today, Alderman Vitelli, that you may want to talk about this during the committee
Yeah, we could
meeting.
do it during recess, I mean.
Okay,
Yeah, let's do it during recess.
okay, thank you. So then we will move on to the consent agenda.
Excuse me, Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
if there's no objection from any members of the council, I would move that the consent agenda be approved as printed.
Second.
There is a second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Ranke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we stand in recess until conclusion of the committee meetings.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess.
are present. We will start out with item 25, Resolution 2021-01810. I had that kind of backwards, 0810. Resolution to confirm and adopt the report of the city engineer containing the schedule of proposed assessments for improvement of 65th Street from West Greenfield to West National Avenue and South 66th Street from 100 feet south of West National Avenue to Mitchell Street by concrete reconstruction with miscellaneous sidewalk repair, miscellaneous driveway repair, storm, sewer.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you, I was starting to.
I was wondering,
run out of air
do you
there.
need a beverage?
You have to get Chief Pooler in here.
Right.
No, I'll be fine. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? This was our public hearing item that we just heard about.
It needs to be done anyway, so.
Okay, there you go. That's your discussion?
That's a discussion.
Long overdue.
Okay. Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 26, Resolution 2021-0805, resolution appointing Lois Potion as preservation agent for Honey Creek Cemetery.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Discussion is, are you on that cemetery, Alderman Road?
Am I what?
You own it?
Cemetery?
No, I got the last
Yeah, I'm
lot,
just wondering.
okay? And I hope not to be using it for a very long
I
time.
wanna know if you
Alderman
own
Casale.
We never had this before, did we?
No, what it is it's a new position because
I think it's nice, yeah.
this past summer, we kind of got together and like, we want to fix up the cemetery because it's disgusting. And it's kind of under the guise of the State Historical Society, and there's a person that is like the cemetery person, and she had nobody to contact with, to communicate with, like, how do we do this, how do we do that? She just needed or that department needed a point person to talk to. So now we're moving forward with fixing it up, hopefully. We've got several people on board, and I think it'll be nice.
Nice work.
Nice work, Ben.
Okay, did we move in second, and I forgot?
We did. We did.
Oh, okay. It's been moved in second, and we did the discussion. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Okay, item 27, Resolution 2021-0807, resolution accepting work of Butter Fettings Company Incorporated for furnishing and installation of an air-cooled chiller unit at the West Dallas Fire Department Station 1
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 28, final resolution, or 2021-0811, final resolution authorizing public improvement by concrete reconstruction with miscellaneous sidewalk repair, miscellaneous driveway
Move to
repair.
approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 29 tonight, Resolution 2021-0821, resolution to facilitate the purchase of 1,160 96-gallon garbage carts.
Move for approval, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Was due for a long time anyway.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Andy. Good job.
Are they, Mr. Chair, are they just ordering the 96 gallon?
That's correct.
At this time?
Yes, we do have a small supply of the smaller carts left. It's a very atypical size for people to order, so the 96 gallon is by far the more common size.
Okay, is that the big one?
That's the bigger one, and
That's
the
a big
small one
one.
is a 63 gallon.
Okay, and the smaller one, there isn't a need for the smaller one?
There's not a need for a purchase at this time. We do have enough in stock for the small amount of orders that we get for that
I
size.
see. I wanted that covered too. Thank you.
Okay. Item 30, Resolution 2021-0845, resolution to authorize reimbursement to Wisconsin Department of Transportation in accordance with a ruling by the Federal Highway Administration for the city's canceled bike trail and bike bridge projects in the amount of $357,001.76 and approving a 2021 Engineering Department fund transfer and amending the 2021 Capital Improvement Program.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 31, Resolution 2021-0844, resolution approving an agreement
Move
between...
to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 32, Resolution 2021-0847, resolution to approve a bid of Munson Brothers for the installation of connection liners and riser linings in the sanitary sewer system at various locations within the city of West Allis in the amount of $285,400.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Resolution, or item 33, Resolution 2021-0848, resolution to approve a bid of Visu Sewer Incorporated for the sanitary sewer lining, sanitary and storm sewer spot lining, sanitary sewer grouting, sanitary manhole lining and grouting in various locations within the city of West Allis in the amount of $485,821.25.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Sure.
Yes, Alderman Stefanski.
Is this stuff that can't be done by our guys?
Yeah.
Is that why we do that?
Right, yeah. This is specialized lining, special equipment, special,
Okay.
yeah, we don't do this type of thing.
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, and that was our discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 34 tonight, we're almost done. 2021-1408, communication from city engineer regarding Milwaukee County Transit System, MCTS, proposed bus stop location modifications for the fall MCTS next routing reconfiguration.
Move for approval.
Move to place on file.
Please.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to be placed on file.
File, yeah.
Any discussion?
That's right.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Alderman Ranky.
Do they let the aldermen know if there's any modifications in the bus service in your particular district?
No, they've actually changed a few routes recently, and we didn't even know. They canceled a route on 84th Street, they canceled a route on 68th Street, so they've been claiming they had budget cuts and they had to scale back some of the service, so we just found out haphazardly, they're not even really telling us, so no.
So do they leave you know where the modifications are located?
Well, these that I'm talking about, yeah, they sent a
Because
very,
generally,
yeah.
they have called in the past to get your opinion regarding these changes.
For
But
these
I
bus
didn't
stops,
receive any
yes.
call.
For these bus stops, yes, but not for these routes that they've eliminated. So, yeah, they sent a very nice report, which I included for these particular stops.
Mm-hmm.
But the routes that disappeared, I mean, I had no idea that the route on 68th Street was gone. I had no idea that they were going to cancel the one on 84th Street. So, I don't know. They've kind of wondered if they were mad at us, but I don't know. They said they're not. It's just budget cuts.
I understand the budget cuts, but they should leave us know
Yeah.
where
yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Grisham.
just to kind of echo what you had stated, Pete, I have heard from a lot of residents how disappointed they are, especially our senior population that just can't get to where they're going. The one bus line that was canceled was to Southridge. That took away a lot of ridership. But my understanding too, because I did explore it myself, because my business is right on 70th, and that route was, annihilated. We have a senior center there. So it's really unfortunate, and I don't know how they arrived at that decision, but I would have liked to know ahead of time too. I had clients that just, wow, I can't get to you.
I still don't really know. I mean, I guess they look at the ridership numbers, but
Right.
we questioned them, and they were kind of vague. It was just budget decision.
Right, you would think those were main routes, though, that they had plenty of ridership,
Right.
but either way, so.
Mr. Chair, I think that's part of the make changes, really. I mean, that's, bottom line is budget, you know. I mean, when you see one person ride the bus, I mean, or none at all, to me, that's when those people, they gotta kind of digesting and realize what impact they give it to the operating cost, I think that's a good management move, really.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is, that's sad, really, but that's the way it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we even have a motion? I forget. Oh, we did.
Yes, we did.
Moved and seconded, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 35, 2021-1411, draft 2021 Public Works Committee minutes for the following dates, June 1st and August 3rd.
Move to approve?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved-
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You really had your work cut out tonight,
It was terrible.
Could be an auctioneer. You're just moving it along. Okay.
I believe that we should probably clear up the item 4, about the Mac Cocos on 74 and,
Do you want to call the meeting to order?
oh, yeah.
What number are you starting out with? Because we have
So the-
two.
Yeah, number 4, Alderman,
Okay.
2021.
Do you want to call the meeting to order?
Yes, we will. So all the licensed members are present for the License and Health Committee meetings after the council recess. So I'd like to move on with item 4, new Class B tavern license application for Edwin Ordonez, DBA McCoco, 7420 West Greenfield Avenue, agent for Edwin Ordonez. He's here? He's not here, right? No.
Don't see.
But I think he's got all the application, all the occupancy fulfilled, and
The clerk has indicated that the file is not ready to be granted.
It's not.
it's not ready yet, eh?
Yeah, there's the 3 items that have to be signed
Because he
off
says
on.
if all the inspections are covered, but similar they're not.
That did
Yeah,
not occur.
then we can hold it. Okay. So we
Make a
hold,
motion to hold?
yeah, let's make an motion to hold it.
Motion to hold.
Second?
Second.
All in favor of the motion to hold it?
Aye.
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 Opposed? The aye have it. So now we go on to, okay. Item 46. We have 2021-1379, 21-23 new operator bartender sales clerk application for Ariana McCarthy. So Ariana, you're here, right? Want to come forward?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So, questions that I do have, you fulfill all your responsibilities for us to grant you a license?
Yes,
You did?
yes. The only thing that the court pushed off was my 14 days of Huber to allow me to finish working out the Christmas season.
Yeah.
They did grant me an extended.
Oh, like extended, right?
Yeah, so I don't have to go until the 1st, but therapy is almost completed, which was ordered by the court. And as I mentioned last time, I am not drinking, I'm not allowed to drink behind the bar. I will be on probation for 12 months. That was also issued by the court.
Do
When I
you
went in-
provide all the, some paperwork to the clerk office, or
I
you haven't?
can show you what they gave me when I went to court on the 2nd. So this one was the one that I brought with me last time, stating that I was going to therapy, showing you the office and number. This guy right here, these two show that I will be in probation. I have my first meeting next Monday morning. And this one These two are stating that I will be going into Huber with allowed work release for those 14 days that I am in. And I believe that's all that they gave me that is relevant to this. This, I think, goes along with the probation.
Yeah, it's been signed. I don't want to look at it.
We're
fine.
Yeah. Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I just want to thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you for the,
McCarthy, for coming back
Sure.
and
Sorry, I missed
showing us
my
that
earlier one apparently.
that-
There's a miscommunication.
it can happen, and it does happen.
Yeah,
so-
the Gina from the clerk office, she scheduled her, like I said, about 6:40. That's why she was not here. You know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
With that being said, I appreciate you coming back and making right on everything that we asked you to. And I would make a motion to approve.
You have a question, Alderman?
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I saw a picture of your driver's license. Is it current now?
I do not have a driver's license. That is suspended until they gave me credit for the last year that I did not have it.
Okay.
So it will not be up until the 10th or 14th of January, but I do not have a car, I am not driving, and I will have a breathalyzer in my vehicle when I do purchase one.
Okay, thank you,
Alderman-
Mr. Chair.
Alderman Rangi?
How long is your probation for?
12 months.
12 months, a
Yes,
whole
ma'am.
year?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I wish you well.
Thank you. I am trying to do right by my mistakes, so.
Any further questions from the committee members? So I need an motion of,
I made the motion.
to approve.
Approve.
Oh, second? All in favor of the motion of the seconds?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Best of
So
luck
good
to
luck
you.
to you.
Thank you.
So the question is, we don't want to see you 6 months from now, okay?
No, you won't, I promise.
All right. That's
In
very
better
important.
terms if it is.
You know, I mean,
Absolutely.
you learn a lesson, you know, I think we try to give you an opportunity really to move forward,
I do
okay?
appreciate it. Thank you so
You're
much,
going to turn
guys.
your life around.
Thank you for coming, eh?
Yes, ma'am, I'm working on
wish you
it.
well.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
very much for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.
So now we move forward, item 47, 2021, 1434, signed finding recommendation. I believe that we did already briefly, the agent Jeffrey Clark denied the
allegations.
The allegations, and so we're going to schedule dates for moving forward with a hearing.
So this would be a non-actionable item? Is that what
Yeah, I
we're
don't think,
looking
yeah,
at?
we just kind of,
I think I'm just,
There is no motion on it. It's
motion.
going to already move forward.
It
He
would move
denied his
forward anyway.
allegations.
Yeah, he denied the allegations, so we can just move
Attorney
forward.
Serwin
Yeah.
and the office will take care of that
Yes,
going forward.
yes. So-
Okay.
So then we go to item 48, which is 2021-1481, new Class A-B license application for B&S Mart LLC DBA B&S Mart, 7920 West National Avenue, West Dallas, Wisconsin 53214, Agent Tilak KC. Are you here? Want to come forward?
Good evening.
How are you?
How are you?
So you're here because you looking forward to transfer your license from one location to another? No, right?
No,
No, huh?
I do on other locations too. Just I'm buying that location, taking over from tomorrow
So you're taking over from other
from other owners.
agent, I mean, they had the license before, right?
no, they don't have a license.
No,
There's no license.
No, this is a new application.
That's a new application,
Yeah.
so,
Yes.
This is a
But I do
new
have,
Class
I do have a
A.
license for different locations.
different locations, eh? Not in West Dallas,
And in Australia.
not in West Dallas, right, that's what I thought. So any questions?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Alderman Rowe.
In our, when we introduced this at our earlier meeting,
Uh-huh.
you had your hours from 6 in the morning till 9 at night for selling.
Selling, yeah.
And our local ordinance is 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's fine. I'll follow that.
And then also, I think if not all, 90% of our retail outlets in West Dallas start selling liquor at 9. I know all the liquor stores do. Are you willing to have your hours at 9 till 6?
Sure.
Or
that's
9
fine.
till 9, or 9 till 9, excuse me?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Okay.
I'll do 9 to 9, that's fine.
So
Yeah,
do
9, it's more logical, really.
we have to amend that? Or is
Yeah,
that?
well, I think it had to be an amendment, because I think it was, it states 8, right? before?
It said 6 till 9.
6 to 9.
in the morning
So
till
it needs an
9.
amendment on the,
So we'd be voting on it as amended.
As amended,
To his
yes.
business plan or hours of operation.
from 9 to 9. Okay, from 9 AM to 9 PM.
Yeah, that selling hour for that liquor. But,
Yes.
But I opened the store from 5 to,
Yeah, the store is fine. I mean, as long as you're not selling liquor
Yeah, that's fine.
during the, before 9
Yeah.
or after 9 o'clock, you
at
know.
the gas station, I have to open.
Yeah. no, I
Mr.
mean,
Chair?
Yes, Alderman.
I do have a question relative to that. As it is state 6 AM, and we would put a provision in there to 9, how would that be regulated for purchasing besides his word?
Well,
Well, you should.
may I, Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Most of the stores either have the zigzag fencing where they close off their whole liquor department and you can go and shop. I'm talking about grocery stores. And other other outlets like, like Open Pantry or something like that, lock their doors, lock all their glass doors.
Would you, kind of to piggyback that, would you have locks on those doors that you can lock the beer access down?
Or we can make a small barricade kind of things, but my other stores, usually the customer know and they don't buy after.
You can buy really some reasonable barricades, really.
Small.
Yeah, to me, I understand that people knows they cannot cross that,
Yeah,
you know.
yes.
To me, it'd be the easiest solution, really, to
Mr.
follow.
Chair?
Yes, Alderman.
Don't most gas stations, when they want to have a beer license, they submit a plan to the committee for our, you might say, our blessing?
You mean the building layout?
Correct.
Have anyone else received a plan? Because I don't recall ever receiving a plan from this gentleman.
I quite
On
honestly
what
don't
he
know.
plans
I don't
to do.
recall one.
Yeah, I don't either.
There was
recall
none that
either.
I'm aware of.
Yeah.
So
Aren't
did you put a building plan together as to the layout of your store?
You had a layout, right, for the, what you're
Okay.
doing, right? Okay, with the liquor side and the gas stations.
Might be on the application.
I didn't see a plan. I would not vote unless I see a plan on what he plans to do.
Is there anyone from the office that can verify if it's on
Well,
file?
we gotta call,
I know
Kale
it's
is
26
downstairs. He
pages
says-
in the packet, and I don't recall if we
wanna
have
call
our...
Kale, maybe he can come up. He's downstairs. He says if we need him, we can call.
We're phoning a friend right now.
Oh, no, I was looking it up.
Yeah, if you
It was
can
a
check to see, it
26-page
should
thing,
be.
and it may or may not have been in. I don't recall, Tracy.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, I don't have no idea really to,
The clerk texts that this application, the site still needs approval from Bins and Fire. So a motion could be made to hold it, to approve and hold a council, or to hold a committee, if you want to see the plan.
Thank you. That would make most sense
Yeah.
in my opinion, so
Thank you,
we can
Richard.
make,
Yeah.
I'm going to make a motion to hold this item
to hold it,
until we
not to
see
deny,
the.
I mean, we're not gonna deny it, but what it is, to see the plans, you know, that you did present it to the clerk or to the zoning department, you know, okay? So it should be no problem. I mean,
You
still-
understand what's going on here.
Yeah,
It's a-
exactly. But what happened in the fire department is, actually, I did come to know this morning, there was small correction on that one plumbing things and one that vacuum cover things, and everything is taking care, everything is taken. I called that company and Northern Equipment Company, they came this morning, and I email everything to Daniel, I believe. Daniel, I email everything to Daniel.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can talk to that.
Yes.
I'm Ron Daly with Building Inspection, and I went there this morning at 11 o'clock. There were some burnt out exit lights, there were blocked exits, and the vacuum cleaner had exposed wiring outside.
Yeah.
So we wanted that all taken care of. I was there at 11 o'clock, none of it was done. Dan Adamczyk called me at about 4:30 this evening, said that you had emailed him a contract that you had electricians on. So on the way here, I stopped again. I got there about 5:40, and the items were corrected. The exit lights are working.
Everything is fine then.
The doesn't work, but the cover's on, the wires are all protected, and there's 3 items, so building inspection is all signed off.
It's all signed off then, eh?
And I emailed Gina at 11 that it wasn't. Well, at 5:40 it is, and I just emailed her 15 minutes ago or so, so obviously Richard doesn't have that. But fire department had 3 other items that were on your list. Your emergency information at the fuel pump needs to be clearly displayed. It wasn't. Your tank overflow button was dysfunctional, and your tank fill has to be repainted. So those are 3 maintenance items, fire department. They had 5 items. 2 overlap with us. The exits being, the exit light's not working and the exits being blocked. Those you took care of. The other 3 items you may have taken care of, I don't have any way to verify that.
Earlier took care that this morning, Northern Equipment Company, they came, they painted, that posted the emergency sign, and they signed up the electrician, and they already billed me. Probably tomorrow sometime they come, they put that overflow, that button there.
And fire, you know, when you get that, call fire department so they can verify. But
Yeah.
building inspection is done.
And I think I sent you that Northern Equipment, that invoice thing.
Well, wait, quick.
Yeah.
No.
I want to see a plan,
Yeah.
Frank.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
Aside of building and all the other areas that you have to sign off on, you can take care of that on your time. However, as far as the license is concerned right now for the beer sales, we're going to hold that item until we see a plan as to how your layout is going to be. I don't think it makes or breaks your.
I did submit that too, that made the layout.
A floor plan.
Full plan.
Like where the cash registers are,
Yeah,
where the
I did.
coolers are, where the.
Yeah, I did floor
Whatever
plan. I
it is.
submitted that for floor plan, yeah, I did.
You have,
You have that, you brought forward to the clerk
I
office?
gave to the Gina.
to Gina.
Gina, you give it to her, eh?
Okay. Is there a way we can check with Gina to see if there is a floor plan?
I don't think she's here, but what you could do, if that's just, you want to review the plan, you could approve it
Yeah, that's what I thought.
on fire sign off and committee review of plan.
Yeah.
And this way it gets moved to the council and it
To
won't.
me, it'd be the logical way, really. to,
Then if he submits that,
You have to submit that within a time frame, you know, it could just be 2 months from now. You gotta do it sometime between now and next week, you know.
I can do that.
So we can approve that way, that you still gotta fulfill those 2 items, you know?
So the recommendation
You might have a
Mark, is
key.
to approve and hold at council pending approval of fire and review of plan by committee.
And the changes of hours of operation.
Right.
Yes.
Approve with as amended.
It's amended, yes, from 9 to 9 PM.
however, when will that come back for our review?
Well, the next year.
Well,
Yeah, no
yes,
meeting,
but is that any different than saying we'll hold it over so we can see it? It's going to be the same time frame. I think what we were adopting this evening was that plan of, with those, sign-offs, that then that license was issued.
Well, it's up to the members, you know, whatever you guys want to do, you know. I mean, if the gentleman, you know, is willing and he's been followed through, some of those questions, like I said, the building inspection is done already. So if you got a couple of items which it could be fulfilled, I mean, I don't want to hold them hostage for another month, you know. I mean, really, I don't think that's the.
The difference would be that he wouldn't have to appear in front of the committee again.
Yeah.
That's what I was
See,
asking.
I found it.
You did.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry. We should have had this together already, so
And it
that's on
shows your,
us.
Yeah, we should have.
How many coolers do you have? How many doors are opening? Is that what you're doing? I can't quite tell by this.
Merchandise.
I think 10, I believe.
8?
10.
10?
10, yeah.
Walk-in cooler right there.
Oh, it's a walk-in.
Alcohol display area.
Okay.
So this has got to be.
Are you planning on
blocked off.
enlarging your facility, your station?
No, ma'am, just whatever
No,
that it is.
Just the building?
Just
Or just a,
that's,
the,
reorganizing that floor.
Okay.
Miss-
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause this is.
Oh, see,
You have a question? So-
Yes, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I think considering that we're now talking 10 coolers, a walk-in area,
There's also-
I don't have a plan in
There's
front of.
also an alcohol display area right here that doesn't show anything about fencing in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think we need to take a look at this a little bit closer. This isn't going to impact you opening your business, you just can't have that.
Cooler is already there, and there's soda, juice, everything is there. When we get the license for the beer, probably we have to buy a small separate cooler, or we can make some parts, that existing cooler.
Okay.
Right, so-
Without a visual from me and a plan going forward, I would not make a motion to approve this evening.
And I would agree with Alderman Grisham.
Okay, so is that a motion to deny?
It was part of the
No.
discussion. I'm going to make a motion to hold the
To
item.
hold the items, you know. So-
Would that be,
So the bottom line, really, we wouldn't have no meeting the entirety of this month, really. Otherwise, we have to have a special meeting, really. I mean,
it's not approving, it's
Yeah.
holding it over, and we
Yeah,
still have the
holding over.
option to approve or deny when we see the plan.
It'll
So
hold
it's
until-
hold until our next meeting,
It'll hold until January 4th.
correct?
Well, that-
So I make a motion to hold until January
I'll
4th.
second it.
all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? The ayes have it.
Thank you for coming, sir. I'm sorry.
you. Thank
Would
you
have liked to
very
have been able to see
Safety
it.
plan I have to show. I'm puzzled here. Really, stories are the same.
You're kind of confused, right?
So,
Yeah, I'm
so this
kind of
plan,
confused
this
here.
plan that you have,
Yeah.
part of your application,
Uh-huh.
there's nothing showing where you're gonna put any barricades around the alcohol, because you got alcohol displayed right here in an opening.
Yeah.
There's nothing showing where it
the
has to be.
Kind of corner is that one, right? So it's kind of what layout is a kind of corner
Yeah.
there.
But it needs
And
to be.
we have there is a different kind of merchandising there. Move out for that merchandise from that area, that alone area. That will be where we're going to put the beer, that area. This is the showing on that corner there, and barricade will that portable barricade that not good in the wall, right? We can put barricade whatever. We cover that beer area. We buy this kind of barricade and we put over there. We don't know exactly how much area that cover with that product.
Well, you
But
have-
that gonna stay on that corner. This is the
You'll have to get us another drawing showing where you're going to barricade.
Okay.
We do this to taverns, too. We even ask them where are they going to store their liquor, and they have to be very precise as to, upstairs, in this closet, or in the basement, under the whatever, so.
So just and in that layout, I need to put that barricade only, or other stuff. I want to know that things that before.
And
making
I
some-
would note how many doors you're going to have into this cooler area and your display, how many doors.
And how they'll be locked during non-selling hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that opening's gotta be locked up, so
Yeah,
that people can't get in there.
We can put some chain and locked off. And when 9 to 9, we'll open that lock. And before 9, after 9, we'll put chain. That will lock for the door.
Who would he, would he work with Steve with this, or is this something with,
I would say
building inspection?
just,
We wouldn't touch it.
This has been a revised plan of operation.
Yeah.
The clerk's office.
The clerk's office?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah, that's,
so Gina Gresh would be your point person on this.
Gina,
yeah.
Once you have that completed, how many doors, your outside display, whatever you were talking about, and your
Barricade.
cooler size and everything like that, we want to know.
Okay.
all right, so I want to ask you, when you came forward to apply for, right? Nobody asked you about all those details about what you have to do?
Just they told me just.
Well, we do have
make a
the drawing here, Vince.
make a
Yeah, we have
simple-
the drawing, yeah, but it's not really what we really want, right? It's
Well,
not-
we're kind of designing the airplane on takeoff right
Yeah,
now
that's what it is.
Right.
Say,
We're adding locks to the
Yeah,
doors
yeah.
and getting,
Yeah.
it's prohibited area from
Sure.
from after hours.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I may, there was a motion, it was
Yes, already,
seconded.
yeah, we voted on it.
We would advise you to go back and speak with Gina on this, so you can get other direction to come back to us on January 4th.
Just I'm
Yeah.
trying to get clear what kind of
Yes.
planogram I have to make there.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank
Now
you.
I'm clear now, just for the door things and for the things, I'm clear.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
thanks.
Have a
Take
good
care.
evening.
You too.
We need to vote.
Yes, we
We
need
voted
to,
already.
there was a
There
motion
was a
and a
motion,
second.
we need to
We
vote.
did not vote.
On the emotion. Aye.
All in
All
favor?
in favor, opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
The aye have it. I thought we did vote already on that one.
No, it was just a motion to hold,
Motion,
so.
all right.
Yep.
Hold it, okay. We move on, item 49, 02021, 0120. Ordinance to authorize the issuance of a provisional retail alcohol license certain applicants and restrict applicants who have been recently denied. I believe we did discuss all this
Yep.
already.
Move to
so
approve?
Second.
All in favors?
Aye.
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 Motion adjourned.
Second.
No. Well,
That's with the 6 months in place, correct?
Yes, it's
Okay.
as
That's
it
right.
is.
All right.
So all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The aye have it. Who said that?
There was a motion
I
to
did.
adjourn, and I will second.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor of the
Aye.
motion to adjourn?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
The aye have it. Good.
Okay,
We're done.
yeah.
No, Rosalie, no.
You want your gavel?
Oh, Rosa, well, we're done with the licensing now.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, I get the gavel.
gavel.
Yeah, keep the gavel.
Time, first
Make it happen.
Feels so powerful.
Right?
Advisory come to order. Let the minutes reflect that all 5 members are present. Before we act on number 50, I would like to first read all the students before we act on that particular item.
Thank you.
All right. Appointment by Mayor Devine of the following students to the West Dallas Youth Commission: Christopher Clark, Liberty Winchell, Morgan Topal, Shelley Zane, and Porty Williams, Ashley Manicus, Pooties, Abigail Fensky, Mackenzie Rosie, Alicia Hernandez, Isabel Moran, and Laura Luna.
I
These
make
are the
a-
students.
Motion approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Madam Chair, I would just like to thank this group of youth that are stepping forward to work with the West Dallas Youth Commission. We have been very blessed with a lot of young leaders in the community, and I'd just like to thank them for their volunteer work.
Thank you. They are our future leaders.
Absolutely.
This is a marvelous opportunity for them to, as members of the commission. I would agree with that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 51, election inspectors and special voting deputies appointment list for the 2022 to 2023 term.
I have a question before we vote on the motion on this.
You see the M was beginning.
Yeah.
Do the people on the list have to be residents of the city?
No, they
Okay.
have to be residents of the county.
The county? Okay, all right, thank you.
And I hope you're not going to read that whole list.
No. We don't have the whole list.
We don't
This is
have
all
the
we
whole
got.
list,
have the list.
so thank
We
you for
don't
not
have the
giving
list.
us the whole list.
I saw the whole list, though.
Motion to approve.
As long as Vince not reading,
We
Second.
have
to
a
approve.
motion to approve.
Second.
Is there a second? And a second. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed? Carried.
There you
I
go.
want to hear
We are
that
adjourned.
sound.
Okay.
Bravo.
Ask the clerk to take a roll.
Alderperson Ranky.
Here.
Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
Tenorio.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Grisham.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
Keen.
Here.
Lysick.
Here.
10 present.
We still have a quorum. We will start with Alderman Haas's Administration and Finance Committee, and I will ask the clerk to read out that report.
The Administration and Finance Committee recommended the following: passage of item 14, adoption of items 15 through 22. They held item 23 and accepted the proposal of item number 24.
I move for approval of the committee report.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. And next up is Alderman Rote's Public Works Committee, and I will ask the clerk to read out that report.
The Public Works Committee recommended adoption of items 25 through 33, placing on file item 34, and approval of item 35.
I move in accordance of the committee report, Mayor Devine.
Thank you, Alderman Rote. Is there any discussion? Okay. Hearing no discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. And next up is Alderman Lysick, Safety and Development Committee, and I'll ask the clerk to read out that report.
The Safety and Development Committee recommended adoption of item 36, passage of items 37 through 40, and adoption of items 41 through 45.
Mayor Devine, I move for approval of the committee report.
Thank you. Any discussion on the Safety and Development Committee? Seeing none, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. And then our next committee will be Alderman Vitale's License and Health Committee. I will ask the clerk to read that one out.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
The License and Health Committee, for item number 4 that was on the agenda earlier in the meeting, that item will continue to be held in the council. They have still not met all the requirements. And for the meeting, the rest of the items for tonight, they recommended granting item 46, hold item 47 and 48, and passage of item 49.
Mr. Mayor, based on the recommendations of the License and Health Committee, Mr. Mayor, I move for approval.
Thank you, Alderman Vitale. Is there any discussion on the License and Health Committee?
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Weigel.
just a point of clarification. So with the passage of item number 49, even though item number 4 wasn't ready to pass today, that applicant wouldn't necessarily have to wait until our next council meeting to begin operation. Is that correct? I see an
so.
affirmative
Correct.
from the city clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Thank you. And then, last but certainly not least, is Alderwoman Ranky's Advisory Committee. I'll ask the clerk to read out that report.
The Advisory Committee recommended approval of items 50 and 51.
Mayor Devine, I move approval of committee report.
Okay, any discussion on the Advisory Committee report? Okay, seeing none, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysick.
This is our last meeting of 2021. I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. and move that we adjourn until our next regularly scheduled meeting, January 11th, 2022.
Second.
There's a motion with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.